The Disney slash superhero dynamic. Explained. Jersey Judah, Renegade Red Pill, back with a little presentation. So, within relationships or within the process of what becomes a man, right? We learn about oneittis. We usually learn that the hard way. We learn about all of these things. The Disney dynamic is something that needs to be addressed. A lot of people talk about it, but I haven't talked about it directly yet, so I'm going to talk about it. What are some examples, or what is the Disney dynamic? So the Disney dynamic is just like Disney. You know, the network or the channel or the corporation, whatever the fuck they are, the entity that they are, that has Snow White, Cinderella, all of these sort of rags to riches stories made for predominantly girls. Well, the man's Disney dynamic is in connection to relationships. It's in contrast with women, but it's not. It's more of a mindset about women rather than women themselves. Let me explain. Some of you guys never heard of the term oneittis, but I'm going to explain it quickly. Oneittis is the idea of getting attached to one woman and looking at that one woman as your completion. This is an unrealistic way of thinking. This is a part of the Disney dynamic. Okay? Now I'm going to brush on this quickly. I'm going to talk about the superhero dynamic, which this is mostly in contrast to how women want to view men. So women, with the same Disney dynamic of, you know, they're going to find the right one. It may take time. There's somebody for everybody. Blah, blah, blah. The superhero dynamic goes a step further. So the women, they want a superhero. They want a guy to take care of them, take care of themselves, and be able to accumulate enough money to take care of their future. Now keep in mind, the man with these so-called supernatural abilities, right? These guys are the top of the line. The women who expect the top quality are women who are not even in the same level. There's levels. Kevin Samuels talks about it with the high value man, which is fine. I respect Kevin Samuels. I like his content. But me, being a younger man, a part of a younger generation, although I am 32 years of age, I don't see that search for high quality women. And I think it's because of the Disney dynamic that guys are pretty much pressured to settle for what they can get. Guys can't have expectations with women, but women can have the humongous list of expectations that she wants from a man. Men tend to settle, and women tend to look up. That's generally, and see, people can disagree, but then I'm going to break down the superhero dynamic even more. The best example that I can use is none other than Superman, an actual superhero, a very popular superhero. By the way, I'm not really a fan of Superman or DC. I just want to throw that out there. But he's a perfect example because he represents two people. He's really Clark Kent, but he's more of Superman. He's the alien who looks like a human but has all of these supernatural abilities. Lois Lane, someone who works alongside with Clark Kent, sees him as an average, everyday type of guy, a guy who's trying to make ends meet. When Clark Kent becomes Superman, he becomes a fantasy to Lois Lane because although she can see herself with Clark Kent, she really wants to be with Superman. And when Superman reveals his identity, you would think that Lois Lane would be happy, like, oh, this is the guy that I work with. She'll actually be upset because her expectations of Superman was so high that she expected this supernatural, almost God figure. That's what women look for. You see, with females, and you can tell by their upbringing about what they want out of a man from their upbringing. So, like, a female looks for guidance, essentially. Financial guidance, however you want to put it. They look for guidance. Now, if she had a good upbringing, meaning the father was around, the mother was around, she's going to have a more realistic point of view when it comes to men. She was raised by a good father, so she looks for a man, it's hard to explain. The women look for a man who has the fatherly attributes. Now, this is a tricky subject because athleticism, which is of course physical, financial, also with physical comes protection, security. A woman who never had any father coming up, or better yet, a woman who had a mother who just slept around and she grew up seeing the mother with multiple men. In her mind coming up, she's going to think that that is natural. That is the way to be. So a lot of these women become whores, essentially. I hope this doesn't get taken down on YouTube, but I have to be direct. They become harlots, let's use that word, because they grew up and their idea of normal is their upbringing. Her mom's around the city, has multiple men, bring multiple men home. She sees it as normal. So she gets older, and two things happen, in which I'll get right back to the Disney dynamic after this. Two things happen. Number one, she resents men. She resents men because she figured out, as she got up to age, that what she was looking for is normal is not normal. Women who say they're just looking to have fun and have as many partners as they want, in their minds, it's normal because their upbringing. And plus, they see the guys who they think are just out and about smashing women. Now, let's do a U-turn. Let's turn back into the Disney dynamic. So, what ways does the Disney dynamic affect a man? Well, I explained oneittis. The happy ever after dynamic, where, all I need is a woman to be completed. I have everything going on. All I need is this person. All I need is that person. These are incomplete people. Now, a lot of us, deep down inside, have certain things that we're not satisfied with, right? It may be our weight. It may be our height. You can work on your weight. You can't really work on your height. But if you believe that, hey, if I just get this amount of money, then I'll get this type of woman. Or if I have these type of clothes, I'll be able to communicate with these type of women. That's another form of the Disney dynamic. It's like reversal, where it's like rags to riches. And I'm going to mention something that's kind of bizarre, but I find it to be necessary. When you listen to rap music, and you listen to a lot of these male rappers, they have that rags to riches mindset, or they've went through the rags to riches mindset, meaning they were dead broke, they didn't have any money, they were good at what they did, which was making music. They didn't get the recognition from the people who they wanted to, which in a lot of cases can be peers, so on and so forth. They make a smash hit. They make one song. In a lot of cases with music today, all you gotta do is make one song, even if you become a one-hit wonder, if your shit hit the charts, bro, you're balling. Facts. But all of a sudden, these rappers make that one song. They're on the billboards. They're on the charts. They're making platinum hits. And all of a sudden, they're the hottest thing to women. And a lot of rappers will say it. Like, Mike Jones, back then, hoes didn't want me. Now I'm hot, hoes all on me. But see, that's a Disney dynamic because a lot of people won't have that rags to riches experience. And honestly speaking, as a man, to realize that I'm not a commodity until I am up at the highest level, and the people who will judge upon me the most are women who are at the lowest, it's not appealing to me. Single mothers raise men in a lot of cases with this Disney dynamic belief that if I'm nice and if I'm courteous and if I'm kind and if I tell a woman everything that's on my mind, she'll be interested. It's a lie. It's the biggest lie that was almost passed. It was passed to men by mothers and women in their families, or by female friends who don't know what the fuck it is to be a man. You see, the difference between a man and a woman is a man doesn't want the woman experience. We don't want to know what it's like to menstruate every month. We don't want to know. We don't want to know makeup tutorials. And we don't want to know e-girls and the accessories that women put on. But women seem to want to emulate men so much that they have pretty much copied and pasted the facade of a man. Like, oh, well, I go out and have fun, so I'm not looking for a partner. When a guy says that, you say, oh, all right, well, that guy looks like he has everything in control. When a woman says that, it's a red flag, right? If a woman tells you she gets bored easily, she easily gets bored, it's a red flag. She's been occupied by too many men for her to focus on one guy. Now, the Disney and superhero conclusion would be realism hits hard. Okay? The truth hits hard for a lot of people because a lot of people have been told otherwise. And they've been told to believe that. They've been told that because of everything that is transpiring, you too can be successful. You too can have the rags to riches. The rags to riches isn't realistic with women. I'm going to tell you why. The women who become successful, the women who actually make more money than men, are some of the most miserable women. These are the women that talk about they can't find a high quality guy because you've been too busy climbing the corporate ladder yourself that you have no idea that your increase only came with your money. You have not increased in looks. You haven't really increased in the value for a man. Women, it's completely the opposite. This goes back to the Disney dynamic. The woman who is dirt poor, who cannot offer anything to a guy besides sex, are the ones who have the superhero dynamic. They want to be saved. They're in turmoil. They're in stress. They're in a crisis. A lot of women, and the danger zone in dating. I think Kevin Samuel said 35 and up. False. The danger zone in dating is 27 and up. And I'm going to explain it from my perspective. Once again, I'm a young head. I don't have that big of a buzz. I would say I don't care about it, but what else would I be on YouTube for? I want people to listen and understand what I'm saying. The danger zone in dating and interacting with women is 27. When the woman is 27 years of age, and you are at 27 years of age, you have to understand that you're going in a completely different path that the woman at your age is going. When you're 25, a lot of people say when you're 21, you become an adult. No. Yeah, you become legal, But I think when you turn 25, you understand, like, okay, bills have to be paid. There's things that I have to put aside and really focus on. And in the process of doing that, you become more suitable. You become more noticeable. With women, their assets are dying day by day. Their beauty is what prompts them up in society. Like, it's cool, women can disagree with this, but the reality of it is, when you're attractive as a woman, you can say whatever you want about men. For one, we don't get triggered. Men, we don't get triggered often. When feminism gets brought up and the double standards get brought up to where women want to evolve from where they're at, you got to be held to that. You have to be accountable. So when women talk about, well, we're not what we used to be, we're more capable of doing this and that, cool. Take dudes out on dates, okay? Join the military. Be that person that you claim to be. But don't be upset when guys go, I don't want that out of a woman. The strong and independent, oh my. I can do an entire slideshow on that, and I might do something like that in the future. Like I said, right now, as I said in my last video, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to use that, I'm really just going through the topics and really brainstorming as I'm speaking. And I find it to be a lot more balanced than me having something written down or some stupid shit. So I kind of just go through the topics that I speak on, and then sometimes, like in this case with the independent woman, and I want to just address this. Women, the strong and independent isn't for everybody. Just like, and I remember in The Sopranos where Tony Soprano, I think he was mentioning somebody, I forgot the name. It was an author, something. It was an author or an actor. And he was like, the strong and silent type. And I'm going to, see, this is the thing. With feminism and women, they want what they don't need. Okay? They want the guy, they tell you that they want the guy who's in touch with his feminine side. He speaks about his issues. He doesn't hold things back. Women don't want that in a partner. They want that particular guy friend zone. So men within the manosphere, the red pill men, the MGTOW men, the IBMOR men, these women are capping when they tell you that they want a more sensitive male. Now, they're not lying. They do want these men, but they don't want them as partners. They want them as BFFs. And I'm like going off on a tantrum. I don't mean to, but it just opens up a lot of conversation. But it goes back to the superhero dynamic. She wants a guy. And it's funny because they don't want the superhero. They don't want Mr. Perfect because they themselves will feel insecure and they would have to reach that guy's level. So the more comfortable thing for these women to do is sit back, complain about this guy, complain about that guy. This guy isn't this guy isn't that. But when they see that guy who they want, they know in their mind that they have no interest for these type of women. But they want to up the ante. They don't want to settle down. Not yet, right? When they hit the danger zone, then they're desperate to get into anything. You get up in age, and if you hit your 30s, if you're a successful guy, then you can run down on 25-year-old women. Or just the alternative. I'm not promoting any of this, but I'm just saying, when you reach that age, like 28, 29, even 30, you're in a position to where, okay, I can date a chick a little younger. Or if you're into that, you can date a chick a little older. As long as you're in a position to where you can call the shots, you'll have those opportunities. Or at least that's how it used to be. Today, the rules change, right? You have two sides of the spectrum. You have the men, and I'm generalizing. Matter of fact, I can't with this one. You have the men, but you don't just have any men. You have red pill men, and you have blue pill men. Okay? The red pill men know about the Disney dynamic because they were affected by it. And they had to wake the fuck up. We all had our wake-up call. Our red pill wake-up call. One of those things were dealing with one-itis. You have that one partner you always wanted to be with, right? And you almost fantasize about it, like, oh wow, I'm finally with this person, and it doesn't work out. The men have to snap out of it and realize that that's dating, that's relationships. Sometimes you see people who you think are worthy for you, I should say, and it doesn't work out. Other guys had to go through it in a more harder sense. They put all their focus on one woman, and then that one woman decides to leave, or that one woman cheats, or you cheat, or you do whatever. You live and you learn. The superhero dynamic, I don't think that will be something that will ever be fixed by women. Because even though it doesn't benefit them in the long run, it sounds good, right? Like, imagine me jumping on YouTube and talking about what we should expect from women. You know how much bullshit I would deal with? Like, how much backlash I would receive? Like, hey, women, stop sleeping around. If you're looking for a quality guy, do quality shit. Right? Tommy Lauren said this quote. It wasn't even a quote. It was just, I took it as a quote because it made sense, but it also didn't make sense coming from her. And she said, value. And I got about less than 2 minutes left to draw this down. But she says, value. This is coming from what you would consider to be a high quality woman. See, look, I don't sugarcoat shit. I think Tommy Lauren is bad. You can give me my cent points. I don't care. I'd smash. But almost every other attractive woman, the attitude, the sense of entitlement, the lack of accountability, it really takes away the attraction of that woman. But when she said value, I laughed because this is a woman who probably did not value. She was speaking from a place of hurt. And if you speak from a position of being hurt, you speak with emotion. You don't really speak with much logic. You're not really making much sense. You're not really making any point. You're just ranting. And I get it. Women have that ability, men. Women can go on social media. She can talk about how her life sucks and how things are bad, and how depressed she is, and there will always be a collective who are there to prop her up. Get back on your feet. You can do this. When a guy is in that position, people don't give a shit. See, that's why a lot of men feel the way that they feel about women, is because they don't really see any return of care, consideration, kindness. And if guys are caring and considerate and kind, they just think we're trying to smash. So most guys say, cool, I'll just go my other direction. I'll go the other direction. Now, is it mature to do this? Not really. but it's the best option for men. We're not going to confront women and tell them what they need to do. Even though they can do that for us, they do that all the time. But that's just the way of the world. And look out for the next video. Our sensitive society will be the next slideshow presentation, the next video. But I hope you guys are really putting yourself forward in life. It's okay to look back sometimes. Sometimes we need a reminder of where we came from to understand and to really process where we want to go and where we currently are. So for all the red pill men out there, the MGTOW men, the Ibmore brothers, everybody, stay blessed, stay real, and stay red pill.